Good afternoon. Who knew permitting could be so sexy? It's fantastic. Great to see everybody. This day, we're so excited. This is one of those days when we're all just thrilled to be here and to be able to make this announcement. I want to acknowledge we have a lot of council people here. Councilman Carlucci, Jacoby Pittman, we have Ken Amaro, we have Councilman Arias, Councilman Boylan. Who else? Anybody I'm missing here? Councilman Gay. Oh, he's on the program. He will most certainly. Yeah. He'll always be here. So thank you all for joining us today for a really game-changing announcement about our city's permitting process. Yay! I'm very grateful for the members of our ITD and planning departments who are here with us who really made this day possible. I'd like to thank Wanyoni Kendrick and Josh Gideon for their leadership of these departments. They've just done an absolutely amazing job. Where are you guys? There you are. We'll be hearing from them just a little bit later. And I also want to thank Council President Salem and all the council members that are here. This has been a real priority for the council as well, and everybody's been working hard to make this happen. As I've met with small business owners, both during my campaign and certainly during my time as mayor, I have heard one thing over and over and over again, the same thing all of you have heard. It just takes too darn long to get a permit in Jacksonville. As I've said before, time is money in business. And the truth is those delays have real life impacts on small businesses who drive most of our local economy. Whether it is the opening of a new restaurant or the construction of an affordable housing complex, a lot can change when projects are delayed for months or even years. And as you know, it actually means the project will cost often much more than anticipated. We've seen that movie before, right? So we don't want that to happen anymore. Time is money for our city government too. We have a process that has been inefficient. It takes more staff and resources to provide that service to our citizens. Solving bottlenecks, especially those that have such a sizable impact on our businesses, is one of the most important ways we can be fiscally responsible and good stewards of our taxpayer dollars. Each month, the city processes 9,000 permits. That number continues to increase year over year as Jacksonville continues to grow. It's with those challenges in mind that fixing the permitting process has been a priority for my administration since day one. One of the big projects our team has been hard at work on is a new innovative system to submit, process, and track every permit that the city approves. In December, we soft launched JAX Epics. That is short for JAX Enterprise Permitting Inspections and Compliance System. I like JAX Epics better. That's good. One of the exciting parts about this project is that we developed it with our very own talented development team. Our very own team did this. That's just great, just like we did with the launch of jax.gov. Bringing projects like these in-house has saved millions of taxpayer dollars, and it says a lot about the talent that we have right here at City Hall. And I want to tell you also that a lot of that talent in this room that has worked on the techie parts of this comes from a bunch of UNF graduates too, so local talent. Really excited about that. The collaborative culture that we are working to build here at City Hall has really come into play as well. This cannot be overstated. By working on JAX Epics internally, we were able to innovate quickly and ensure needs were met for every department that is involved in the permitting process. JAX Epics makes it easier for our customers too. Businesses can submit permit applications and upload the necessary documents from any computer or mobile device. To keep the process moving, real-time notifications are sent to city staff and to the customers as steps are completed and additional documentation is needed. It's all possible through an easy-to-use dashboard that shows businesses where each of these permits are in the process. That can reduce a whole lot of frustration, I think. These new features also make things faster for city employees. They can now spend more time reviewing plans and less time doing paperwork. That alone will start speeding up the overall permitting process, and it's part of a goal to digitize records across city government. Similarly, we've already started implementing a digital signature service for contracts in several departments of our city, and we're hoping to expand that. Well, we're not hoping, we will be expanding that citywide as well. Jax Epics is also creating more accountability in the system that tracks how long each one of these steps takes. That way we can better understand if delays are on the city side, if we're waiting on a business for some documentation, or if there are steps for a specific permit type that might need some streamlining. Over the coming months, we'll be collecting this data so we can make informed decisions to continually improve the system. That's one of the things that this team has said to me over and over again as we've gone through this process is please make sure you tell folks this is just the beginning. As we continue to get this information back in-house, we can continue to improve the process. It's just about knowing where the pinch points are, right? We believe that Jax Epics and these process improvements will significantly reduce the average time it takes to get a permit approved over the next 6 months. And we'll now be able to accurately measure that process. There are some big goals there, and I'm very, very excited to see our team reach those. We also believe that Jax Epics can be a statewide model for other Florida counties to follow. And we are well on our way to having the best permitting technology in the entire country. With this innovative system in place, we're also adding to our current staff, so we have more people reviewing permit applications. This includes a contract with Bureau Veritas, an engineering company that provides qualified plan reviewers. We are starting with 4 reviewers to help us to handle the overflow, because believe me, we've got overflow. And the Mayor's Budget Review Committee on Monday, we requested an additional 10 new positions to be added so that we have the people power to further reduce those approval times. The credit review just named Jacksonville as the best metro area in Florida to start a small business, and 7 in the entire country. That's a big deal. Jax Epics and the permitting staff additions are yet another important step toward our goal of becoming the small business capital of the Southeast. So now I would like to invite Council President Salem up to give a few remarks, and then we're going to show you a short video on how Jax Epics is going to work, and we'll hear from our Chief Information Officer, Wanyoni Kendrick, as well.
Thank you, Mayor. I never expected this many people here today. Gee. Well, Mayor, this is one of those areas where there's collaboration. I know my colleagues, and you recognize them, so I won't repeat all the ones that are here. I know as we went through our campaigns, permitting was always a constant comment we heard from people all over this community, and trying to expedite permits. Many of you came to me, let's set up a special committee on permits. And I said, I think the mayor's got a plan. Let's see what she comes forward with, and then we can evaluate that. So I'm excited about the process. I'm excited about the timelines, and we will work with the mayor to on those budget requests to try to get this moving in the right direction. And so that's really all I wanted to say. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. The City of Jacksonville's technology team would like to recognize Mayor Deegan for communicating a clear, concise vision that accelerated JaxPIC's Phase 1 completion. I would personally like to acknowledge our business partners, particularly the city's Building Inspection Division, who spent countless hours supporting JaxPIC's development. And a special thanks to the incredible technology developers who are locally based and oftentimes graduated from local universities.
I'm so sorry. It started recording. Apologize.
A round of applause for the technology team. The city government saved an estimated 40% cost projected by developing the system with existing talented employees versus hiring an outside technology vendor. In-house development allows the city to expand and modify the system based on the needs of our business partners. Allow me to explain the thrust of the system. JaxEPIC stands for Jacksonville Enterprise Permitting, Inspection, and Compliance System. Yes, it does. It's a fancy name for a fancy system. The system allows builders, contractors, and property owners to apply for building permits online, upload blueprints, and communicate more closely with the city's Building Inspection Division. The goal: quicker response time and the ability to capture notes, documents, and messages. The system also captures property compliance information to reduce paperwork. Regarding internal compliance of the permitting process, the next step will optimize a certificate of use and civil plan reviews, which will further reduce the overall permit life cycle. This is truly just the beginning. This is a win-win scenario for the business partners and for those who use the system. Again, this is the beginning of our journey. Once again, thank you to all of those who made this project successful. Thank you.
You've got all the brainiacs over here that actually did all this, so if you have any questions, we're happy to allow any of them to answer if you'd like, or if you have any questions for us. We're started already started, right? Go ahead, guys.
Do you know, Mayor, the average time the current permitting process takes, and what this will, the average time of the new system?
We're going to bring Josh up. We anticipated that question from you, Joe.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for coming. You know, this is real exciting, great step going forward. To answer the question, prior to the new system, we were running on commercial permits, about 30 business days. Right now, we're still holding to that number. Our goal is to get that 30 business days down to 20 for commercial reviews, and to get our residential reviews down to 15 business days. Currently, they're running about 25 to 30 business days.
I know a lot of this is for contractors and builders.
Yes.
So say if I'm on my house and I want to see if I actually sold a permit and where that stands, will the public be allowed to get in this system?
Great question, and I'm glad you asked it, because yes, one of the big things we wanted to make sure that the public would be able to do is to log in as a guest, not even as a guest, just log in to the system. There's multiple ways to search. And you can search any address for whatever permits are on that address, from roofing to landscaping permits to building permits, electrical, anything that we typically do through our permitting software.
On the city side of things, can you kind of describe where the bottlenecks were and how the system will alleviate those issues that were causing delays?
So one of the huge bottlenecks that we faced as a city, as regulators, processing permits, is we weren't getting all the information we needed up front. So one of the things the new system is going to enable us to do is to better collect data up front from the contractor, not allowing that permit to be submitted until we have all that data. Also, it's going to help clarify documents that we need for each review. A lot of times our reviewers would get a permit, it would go through that 30-day process, and we found out maybe they didn't upload their energy forms. So one of the huge things we're doing is trying to minimize the chance that a permit is submitted incomplete so that we can get that permit issued on that first submission.
An estimate on the development cost that was done in-house and
The vendor's costs were projected at about $9 million, and the great technology team was able to do that at about 40% of those projections.
Question. Aside from the system that we have with the grade, the new staff members, you mentioned 10 new staff members, how would it be implemented? What positions are they going to be filling? Because part of the delays in permitting is not just the system, it's also the manpower that we have, right?
Exactly. Great. Thank you for asking. So we're doing three things that the mayor mentioned as his first step into permitting to try to tackle some of these delays. So one is Jack Septic's. The second one is those 10 positions. And then the third part is that Bureau Veritas overflow plan review, which is kind of like adding positions as well. So those 10 positions that we'll be adding on as staff, 4 of them will be focused into Development Services Division. I know we've got contractors in the room, and they understand that we have some bottlenecks, not so much even on the building permit side, but on the civil plan review side. So that's going to relieve some of the pressure over there in the Development Services side. The other 6 positions will be added into Building Inspection Division. Those will be split between plans examiners and permit assistants. So, we want the plan reviewers to get a review done, but we also need that help on the front line that interacts with our customers so that the reviewers can focus on reviews.
So going back on the reviewers, you mentioned 30 days is currently what it's taking, 25 to 30 days, you want to move it to about 20 days. Whenever a client comes back in and it's not suitable, and you send it back to the customer, how fast can we get back to them? Do we have to give them a 30 days, or is there going to be an expedite service for that?
So right now, any resubmission, we get done within 10 business days.
Is that current standard?
Current,
Or is there gonna be a new
that's our current standard, and we're hoping to reduce that as well. That's not going to be the first part we focus on. I want to focus on that initial review, get those times down, and then we can focus on those resubmission times.
I know that most of the issues that we have in this community are with resubmission.
Yes, sir.
In my case, that's one of the reasons why I waited 11 months for an awning permit.
Yep.
So, I was just very told about it. So, the resubmission is something that we have to do.
Yes, sir.
Did you get any input from either developers or contractors on the new system and how it works? And secondly, how are we marketing this to make sure that those contractors and individuals that are coming to utilize our service?
Appreciate the question. So a couple things. The first part is, yes, we did have contractors, both from NEFPA and from ABC that worked for part of this. Companies such as American Electric, Pulte Homes, Alden White, and others have been involved since around February. I think they got involved with our teams and working on input so that we provided a product that didn't just fit the internal needs that we had, but also fit the needs of our contractors, because they're our customer in the end. And I forgot the second. The marketing, and we've been working with NEFPA and ABC. NEFPA was gracious enough over the last year to host 2 training sessions to kind of introduce them to the new system so that their members understood the system. And I was talking with Curtis Hart with NEFPA prior to this meeting, and they're going to be willing to host some additional training sessions at their conference hall, coming up so that we can continue to work with those builders to help them become more and more familiar with the system. We did have the old system for about 17 years, so it's a little bit of a, whenever Microsoft changes where the ribbons are on Word, everybody freaks out. Very similar thing we're having with the new system. Everybody's got to learn where the new clicks are.
Can you talk a little bit about what
Right, so yes, we just went through MBRC with the appropriation, so that will be coming to city council soon for their approval to fund those positions within the planning department. And as far as the looking at small business and how this is going to help businesses coming to Jacksonville, is we've been working a lot, because of the certificate of use process works very closely with the building inspection division and a permitting process. The small businesses are very integral to that process. So we've been working with the JSEB team and trying to help tie in a lot of the small business and also with Office of Economic Development so that when businesses are looking at Jacksonville, to get them more familiar with that permitting process as soon as possible, so it doesn't become a delay when they finally decide to locate here. Yes, ma'am. So our website is JaxEpics, you got it spelled up there, JaxEpics.coj.net. So you can pull that up on your phone, your tablet, your home computer. So currently, we have 18 plans examiners. So we'll increase that by 4, so we'll have 22, in addition to the extra reviewers we'll gain through the Bureau Veritas partnership. So the largest challenge we're facing right now is I'll again just take it. I greatly underestimated the contractors taking advantage of our pre-registration. So our staff is like all hands on deck right now, helping contractors get their profiles set up in the system while we're live. We should have put some more incentives possibly to try to get them encouraged sooner, but we are getting all those contractors and getting them linked to their accounts. Yeah.
What are some of the things you're hoping to learn? You said that you tried to cut down time on 10 minutes or so, try to put some learn on the back end of that. I guess I know you're the expert. What are some of the other policies that we've done?
No, I just think, look, I think the message we're trying to send here is that as much as the goal absolutely is to speed up the process right away, part of that is gathering enough information and having enough people use the product to get the information we need then to go to the next level and to make it even more accessible and make it run even faster. So I think a lot of this is just going to be, this is phase 1. And we'll move into the next phase where we'll be dealing with some of those other issues, but it has to be after we see, are we actually going to see that the problems are what we anticipate? Are they going to be different problems? Are we going to see that the slowdowns are really in someplace else than we thought they were? But that's all going to take people using the system. So I think our work here at this point is to make sure that we can educate as many people as possible, especially the old folks like me who get scared about change, right, in terms of technology, make sure that they feel comfortable using it, and then make sure as many people are using it as possible so we can drop those response times even more. Obviously with business, I mean, that to me is the obvious answer to the question about what's it going to do for business. Time is money. Time is money, and that's what we heard over and over and over again from everybody that has used this process in the past. And so many times, how many times have we seen a project come back and say, well, gosh, now it's taken so long, we just got to start over, we just can't do it, or it's just too expensive. So cutting that response time is going to solve so many other problems down the road, but you got to get that data in, right?
Yeah, one thing, I just wanted to kind of emphasize the fact that this is a custom system. And I learned about it 2 weeks ago and emailed Josh because with homeowners insurance, you have to pull permits constantly. So I logged on and was like, oh, it looks like we got a new system here. This looks awesome. And around the state, pretty much everyone uses the same system. It's very, very identical. Same with property appraiser website. So again, I think it's worth emphasizing the fact that we, number one, saved money and created our custom software is huge. And then if we do run into those issues, it's great because it's in-house. They can change it. They don't have to go to the vendor and say, can you please fix this? And I think, Josh, if you want to just mention maybe one of the things with the migration or the integration or whatever of coming into the new system, just so when folks try to look it up, you know, that can be addressed.
Right, so one of the things that a lot of the insurance companies need is proof that a roof permit has been finalized, for example. You know, insurance companies are very interested in roof permitting. I'm sure everybody's heard that. So one of the things they need is that certificate of completion. So we are working on ways to help make that information available to the everyday user when they log into our system to be able to print that document. Right now, all of that information may not be available on some of the older permits, but we're working on making that available to everybody as soon as possible. And then one other thing to kind of just build on the data points we're collecting now. One of the things that came out of my meetings with NEFPA is they wanted a way to be able to go internally and look and see how they've been performing as a company internally. So one of the tools we gave them on their dashboards is a way for them to look at, you know, how often are they having to resubmit permits for review? How often are they failing inspections? So that they can start making changes and adjustments internally to also improve their side of the process as well.
Okay, thanks, everybody. We appreciate your time.